I'm starting off 2026 with a bang. Hopefully you can hear me. Does everybody hear me okay? You can see me. I do not like the way this camera is. Let me try to adjust that a little bit. Do I need to go this way? Okay, that's better. But welcome to 2026, everyone. I hope your year is going great so far. All right, let's see if somebody says they can hear me. Can't see in here. Thank you, Karen. Thank you. So has anybody done anything today other than watch football games? Football. There's a ton of it on. It actually put me to sleep at one point, I hate to admit. And for those of you that were with Patrice and I, was that just yesterday? I think that was just yesterday. I went to the store after church this morning. We bought some black-eyed peas, and I tried them. And I have to say, I like them. I like them. They taste a lot like other beans, and I love beans, so they were good. Let's see, just start working in your sewing room. Awesome, Renee. Let me go ahead and get back up to the top. I hope tonight's going to be educational. That's what I was trying to think of. I hope it'll be educational. If you use Embrilliance, if you use a lot, you know a whole lot more than me. I am a somewhat beginner with this, but we're going to do a mug rug from start to finish in Embrilliance. And we're going to play around and look at some of the different stitches, some of the different fill stitches, what they look like, things that maybe you haven't taken the time to look at. And here's what I would say. Let me say it after I say hi. Remind me to get back to Embrilliance. Okay. Hey, Jess. She says she's excited for the new year. I am too. Hey, Unbiased. I'm glad to see you survived that bicycle ride with no hands on your steering wheel or on your, you know what I'm talking about, handlebars. Oh, thank you. Yeah, that happened a couple days ago. Awesome. And thank you, Dee. Hey, Melody. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hey, Stacy. Welcome. Hope you are continuing to be on the mend and feeling better each day. And Karen Murray, again, thank you for letting me know earlier you could see me and hear me. Hey, Rosalind. Welcome. And Rosalind, thank you for being a channel member. Everyone that's a channel member, thank you so much. That means a lot to me. And I know it's a sacrifice out of your pocketbook. And I hope, my sincere hope is that with things designs that I make and I put to the members tab, hopefully you feel like you're getting some benefit out of it. I do appreciate it so very much. All right, so hey, Addie and Nicole. Hey, Sharon Davenport and Lori, welcome. Hey, Renee. I think I saw Renee was working in her sewing room. Hey, Cynthia, welcome. Thank you for being here. And Sharon Davenport, love her. She just says hello to everyone. She's so welcoming. She and many, most of you, probably all of you, are the reason why this crafting community, whether you are on Stacy or Jess's channel or Patrice's channel or Uni's channel or Delon's channel or anybody's channel, Eve, we all are the crafting community. It's a great place to be. Hey, Gail, welcome. Cheryl. Can't believe it's 2026. It's just so hard to believe. Hey, Jennifer Hancock and Evelyn. Martha says, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you. For some people, I hope it's a better year than 2025 was. For those of us that had really good 2025s, I hope it just keeps on rolling that way. Keeps on rolling. Let's see. You told the hubby that your kitchen is closed as of tonight, at least for a couple of weeks. I love that. Honey, for 2 weeks, we're doing takeout. Or you're cooking and cleaning. Because cooking's enough, but the cleaning's even more. I think Sharon has a model. I really do. I don't know if she has like patch artists. That's something I have thought about getting, because is the sale still on and when does it end? I am in no way affiliated with Embrilliance. I just use it. I really like it. Hey, Connie. Hey, Nicole. Now, it has antiquated things in it. It really hasn't, the look of it has not kept up with the way software looks these days. But the functionality of it is good. So, hey, Merlinda and Sylvia Beverly. Hey, Jess, Mylene. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start scrolling. Hey, Nikki and Charlene, welcome. Thank you for being here. And Anne, if I miss you, I do apologize. Hey, Fern, April, welcome. Hey, Chris. Chris says, yay, football. I love football too, but mainly pro football. I like pro football. I'm not as much into college football. Bless you, Tim. He's been sneezing lately. Hey, Daisy. All right. Indiana just won the Rose Bowl. I just saw that. I saw that in the interviews. Yes. Hey, Lily. All right. I really am scrolling down. Hey there, everyone. Thank you for being here. Okay. So let's see. Carol Swin, welcome. Hey, Patrice. Yeah, if you guys weren't in our Crafternoon yesterday, Patrice and I finished the fronts of our wall hanging quilts. We got all our pieces put together and then we sewed them together. And so now the next step is figuring out how to attach them to the batting, stitch in the ditch or whatever, get the back on it or whatever. Mine's going to be a wall hanging. I don't know that I have to worry too much about. Well, I still need a back on it. Never mind. But I need to get it embroidered. And so maybe I'll embroider it, or I need to get it quilted. So I might do that on my multi-needle, or I may take it out to Kat's Fabric for my first one, celebrate it, and have her do it. Hey, Shamika. No cooking for you today? Addie says, I finally celebrated Christmas with my kids and grandkids last night. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Okay. So, oh, look, I'm sure. Look at what we're celebrating next. Well, there's some things to celebrate before, but Patrice was talking about this Cupid the other day. I think I have this in SS10 and SS6. I have no idea if it's actually active in my Etsy shop right now. But look at those stones. This is Siam, light Siam 8B. And then, got thread on it because I've been in here sewing. And then it has some little hearts on it. You could put those hearts all around it if you wanted to in light Siam. So it may be in my shop or I might have to reactivate it. I tend to deactivate them when it's not that season. Kristen, I know, or you could come quilt it for me because I saw how well you did just on your sewing machine. That was great. Thanks, Nicole. All right, so what we're going to do tonight is we are going to do a mug rug design from start to finish. And I have my pulling sitting right here, so we might stitch it out. We'll see. We'll see how long that takes to get through this. And I do want to pull up the live on my phone because here in a minute I'm going to share my screen and we're going to get started. And I want to be able to see your comments. So let me pull up my live real quick. I just hate all the stupid things that you see AI has done and then people post them like, here's a baby the size of a thumb. No. And it is getting harder and harder to really know what's real, what's not real. And I don't like that. All right, so let me search for my channel. Making with Marilyn. Okay, there I am. Make sure I turn it down so you guys don't have a echo or hear this. Thank you, Nika. Thank you. And hey, NJ. All right, Kingsbury Crafts, Jennifer Ricci, everybody coming in. Thank you so much. All right, so I think I'm caught up. Let's just put this right here. All right, so let me know thinking of a multi-needle machine, what should I look at or for? So it kind of depends, Gail. Like, do you want to be able to have a service person from your local place come and look at it? And I don't even know if they do that. But for someone has someone in the chat like bought an embroidery machine, multi-needle from a local place, and do they make house calls? And if so, how much is it? Because if that's what's important to you, you will pay more. You'll pay more. But that might be what's worth it for you. When I was looking at hoop size, and my machine was quasi provided to me to use with some stipulations and payment terms, which I probably can't go into. So I had to think about the cost of it, and I definitely wanted to look at hoop size. How many needles were on it wasn't as big a deal. And even though, like, getting a multi-needle, it is still in the shop. Thank you very much. Getting a multi-needle, okay. Got one for my baby lock dealer. Thank you, Carol. And they will come to your house and service it. They even set it up at your house for you. Okay, so if that is important to you, then you're going to need to do something like that with a local shop. Now, I'm biased. Rachel says she bought hers from a local shop. They don't make house calls, but you can bring your machine into them for repairs. Okay, so if that's important, you're going to pay more for it, but that is a value if somebody can just come out and fix it, or if you can actually get it loaded up to be able to take it to them for repairs. And Rachel, is yours a 6 needle? And if so, like, can you carry it? Mine is a Smart Stitch. And the reason I went with the Smart Stitch, very honestly, is because they are who wanted to, they're who wanted to work with me and semi-provide a machine for me to be able to, have on my channel. I think Smart Stitch and Buy are probably very, 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 very similar. I also think they're very similar to Rekomas. I'm looking at it right now, just thinking about it. I didn't think having a ton of needles was as, oh wow, that's great. Less than 3,000 stitches, because 3,000 stitches is done in one design. 2 people can carry it, 6 needle brother. Okay, so mine is the medium one. There's a 10 needle, a 12 needle, 15 needle. Mine is the 12 needle. It is a little bit more compact. It has a little smaller hoop. I think my hoop goes 9.5 by, I think, 12. The 10 needles versus the 15 needles really didn't matter to me because it's super, super easy to add a new color of thread. Let's see, you have to move yours upstairs and not lean forward to it. When you want to rethread them, hey JB, welcome. When you want to put a new color of thread in, you simply cut the old thread, tie the new thread to the old thread, pull it through, and you're rethreaded and you have the color you want. So I wouldn't get as hung up on the number of colors of thread, as long as it has enough colors to do designs. Like if you do designs that have 15 colors in them, you're going to need the 15 needle. Let's see, the shop charges an extra $50 to service at my house. Yeah, that's not bad. So with a Smart Stitch, a Buy, I don't know about Rikoma. I don't have one. I don't have a Buy either, but I know they and Smart Stitch are kind of the same type of company. When I got it, I did a training. The training was through Zoom. The training was very, very, very important, especially because, I mean, I had done some single needle embroidery, but I'd never even touched a multi-needle machine. And I'm fairly good with machines, and my husband is excellent with machines. And so when I got it, I went through the training. They have you do, what's it called? pressure test, not I'm thinking of lasers. They have you do the test. Let me find my little thing here. You guys are going to know what it is. My brain just isn't working great right now. Whoop, I'm trying to fall down. What's it called when you do this? Oh, what is that called? What's it called? When you check all your threads and make sure that they're good. Tension test. Thank you very much, Robin. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. They have you do a tension test, and then they have you flip it over because you can tell a lot of about your tension by looking at the back. And this is not what I did in my training. I just do a tension test every so often, like after I oil it and all that stuff. And then they teach you how to fix the tension. I just think if you get something like a Buy or a Smart Stitch, you've got to go through that training. If you don't, they also talk about that it could void the warranty. Let's see. So needles, my brother 10 needle. One of my local dealers comes to my shop to service the machine. That is awesome. I don't have that luxury, but I've learned a whole lot on what to do, where to oil it, how to clean it, all that stuff. And so I'm going on and on and on. So it's a matter of less expensive, service only through Zoom, messages, all that stuff, videos. Like I was having an issue, so they had me shoot a video, send it to them. They shot a video of what to do. They sent it back, and I did that. Who in the chat knows of something that's important to look at? To me, it's whether you want the service, what size of hoop, whether you care about the number of needles, reviews, what people think about it. Taking that with a grain of salt, because sometimes the people that do reviews are the people that are really mad about something. Those are the things that come to my mind. And for me, budget was a major thing. So knowing that I could have to pay for part of the machine. Okay, service and cost. Yes. Very good. But all in all, I love it. I love it a lot. Okay, but today, after we do this design, if we move on, if we actually stitch it out tonight, we're going to do it on a single needle. Does it fit in your space? Excellent. Where are you going to put it? All the practical things you have to think about. Yes. Happy New Year, Geneva. It's been intimidating to learn, but I'm getting there. Yeah, it was to me too. That first month, I was like, I don't even know if I like doing this. And then after that, once everything clicked, I haven't looked back since. Hey, Wanda. Happy New Year. All right. Hey, Boyd Apparel. Hey, To Be Young. Okay, so let's go ahead. Wait, I saw somebody else. T. Howell, welcome. Welcome. Okay, so tonight what we're going to do is we're going to work in Embrilliance. And I'm fairly new to this, so I don't know everything. There's a ton of things I don't know, but I am willing to get in there and to start seeing what's what and try to figure out stuff. Okay. Charlene says, I didn't like mine for a month or two. Now, that is exactly how I was. I am not kidding. That first month, I was like, oh my, what did I do? And just watch more videos, reach out, get with the company, play with it. It's a machine that does what you tell it to do. And thread paths. The thread path goes from the spool up through a tube, through tension discs, through guides, through, the arms that go up and down. There's a lot to the thread path. And if something gets off on that thread path, that's a problem. And like one day I put a new spool on and I didn't notice that the thread was kind of under the spool. And I was having problems with it. I was like, what is wrong with this one? What's wrong with this needle? What's wrong with this thread path? It was caught up under the spool. Kevin, did I say hi? I think I did. Hey, Carol, welcome. Someday, Carol Sue, someday. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into Embrilliance. Now, I want to show you something. Let me pull up my apps, and then I'm going to share my screen, because I want to talk about the Embrilliance demo. And again, I have no affiliation with them whatsoever. I tried. I asked them if I could become an affiliate, and they didn't respond. And so I reached out. Well, they're kind of, they'll get to it when they get to it, basically. I never heard back. It's like, I'm not going to bug them again. If they don't want me to be one, I don't want to be one. It's okay. But I still like using it. Okay. Let me go to share my screen. All right, let's see what this looks like. There we go. The YouTube tunnel. Okay, let's go back to my app. So, did I upgrade? And Embrilliance. So I have Stitch Artist 2. I did not upgrade to Stitch Artist 3. I have Essentials and Stitch Artist 2. And then I have a thumbnailer, which really doesn't have anything to do with actual digitizing. And I've never used it. Let's see, getting maybe tomorrow some of my Eufy Make items. But, I don't have that Eufy Make, although it looked very cool. Okay, so you can see right here, let me make this a little bit bigger. You see here, I have Embrilliance, that's this one, and one that the little icon looks exactly the same. This is Embrilliance Demo. This is not a trial. This is a demo. Anybody can get this demo. Chloe, Marilyn doesn't like to see all our apps. I don't care if you see my apps. It's my desktop that I don't like people to see because it's terrible. Hey, Bobby. Okay, so, hey, D. Smith. Sharon. Sharon Davenport, you're so funny. Okay. So this is Embrilliance. This is what I have paid for. I have Stitch Artist 2, which includes Stitch Artist 1, and I have Essentials. I do not have Enthusiast, the Density Repair Kit. I don't have the patch thing. Those are what I have. Hey, Vera. This is Embrilliance Demo. Again, it's not a trial thing that you get for so many days and then it's gone. It is let's just show you. If I try to open it, it is a version of each of these that I can play around in, but I cannot save these as stitch files. So you might wonder, well, what's the point of it if you can't save it as a stitch file? Well, the point of it is I can look to see what I can do in each of these. So if I clicked, so Essentials and Stitch Artist 2 and said, okay, that's exactly what I have. I don't really need to look at that. You never had the demo? I love the demo. If I wanted to see, okay, how easy is it in Enthusiast to do the knockdown stitch? And I did it. It was really easy. I don't have Enthusiast, so I bring in an SVG or I do a copy and paste and start working with the points to drag them out. I should buy Enthusiast, but I can, or I can say I want this one too. I can click all of them. I don't know what Alpha Tricks is. I have no idea. Hey, Angel B. And then I say, okay. And I go into a demo version, which again, I can't save anything. So let's just pretend like I'm trying to. We're gonna say hi. Hi, everybody. And then you go to File. Let's say Save As Stitch and Working. And it says, sorry, it's a demonstration version, but it's very educational for you. So if you are thinking about getting Embrilliance or you have part of Embrilliance, I would recommend get this demo version so you can play around in the different things and see what you need. Okay, Connie, thanks. So for now, we're going to go ahead and open up the real deal, which is Embrilliance, and I have Stitch Artist 2, which includes all the Stitch Artist 1, and I have Essentials. And I am no expert at knowing what you can do in Stitch Artist 3 that you can't do in Stitch Artist 2. So when I'm curious, I go to my demo version and I click on the one I want to look at, and I do that. So, okay, so when I am building a mug rug, and I did play with this today, and I kind of made a few versions of what we're going to do tonight, because I haven't been in Embrilliance for a little while. But when I am building a mug rug, hey Joyce, and I say building because you truly are, you are making the levels that you're going to put into this. I like to start at the very basic. Hey Shayna, welcome. Thank you. Okay, you have enthusiasts and never use it. I would use it for the knockdown stitch. Very seldom do I use the knockdown stitch, but I do use it. Now, if you have enthusiast and you know other things that it does besides the knockdown stitch that you use that you think is good to have, let me know, because before this sale ends, I might want to get it. Okay, you want to do your own files, Mylene? You can do this. Hey, Brandy. You're going to, okay, I can't see your whole thing until somebody else comments, Brandy. I want to learn to, I'm going to, there we go. I'm going to buy it while it's on sale. Awesome. What parts are you going to get? Okay, Carol Sue has Embroidery Legacy. Oh, I would love to have that too. But, oh, remove one stitch at a time easily. Huh. I could see where that could be handy. Hey, Up Design. I would love to have that Legacy, but when it came out, when it was at its like cheap sale price, good job, Vera. When it was at its lesser, nothing's cheap. When it was at its lowest price, when they were trying to launch it, I had within probably 2 months before that spent $300 and some on my Embrilliance stuff. So I was like, nope, nope, nope. The bleeding is over. I'm going to keep going. Knockdown stitches with that. Yes, unbiased. I have done that. I've done that. Usually, my preferred way of creating knockdown stitches is, hey Patricia, do my SVG in silhouette, do it with an offset, and bring that in. That is super easy. But I played with the points to be able to make an offset or a knockdown stitch. Yeah. That pre-order was a good deal. Okay, so I like to start with the basic. And the basic to me is, what size do I want my very first stitch to be, and what shape do I want it to be? And I do mine, never figured out, okay, wait, what do you have, Carol, that you couldn't figure out? So you went with Embrilliance. I missed it. Carol Swin, we have more than one Carol in here. I missed what you had, but couldn't figure it out. Sharon says when Legacy was coming out, videos were yeah. Well, and when they first were launching it, I think okay, Floriani, thank you. I feel like when they were first launching it, they were marketing it to experienced digitizers and designers, and trying to show how theirs does things compared to the other ones. They were not marketing it to newbies, and I really feel like they should have been, but they were not marketing it to newbies. They were doing quite complex things very quickly. I didn't like that either. Okay, so we're going to get started because I've talked 30 minutes. I've talked about nothing. Okay, so I'm going to go right up here to this create icon, create designs icon. If you, yes, okay, question. So if I purchase Stitch Artist 2, will I be able to create word art and add borders around the words? If I know what you're talking about, yes, and I'm going to be doing that, and Stitch Artist 2 is what I have. So see if what I'm doing is what you're talking about, okay? Are you talking about appliques, the borders, or, I mean, you can always, let me just keep going. Okay, so you have to have Stitch Artists to have this icon right here. So if you have Essentials, you don't have this. Thank you, Vera. Thank you, thank you. Okay. So this is a Stitch Artist icon. And when you click on it, What you see here is going to depend on whether you have Stitch Artist 1, 2, or 3. I have 2. I started with Stitch Artist 2. I didn't start with 1. I didn't even start with Essentials. I started with Stitch Artist 2 because I wanted to be able to bring in SVG files, because I make SVG files in Silhouette. And so I definitely wanted to be able to bring in an SVG file. We're not going to rely on any other software tonight. Everything we're doing is in Embrilliance. So I clicked on the Create Designs, and I have all these options come up. Well, the first thing I want to do is I just want to build, in this case, it's going to be a square. So I'm going to click on that. Now, if it's not a square there, let's say I did a circle last, that's what you're going to see. You would click on this down arrow and click the design that you want, or the shape that you want. So I just want to drag this and draw a square, and that's a rectangle. So if I want to change the dimensions easily, first of all, I can see right here what the dimensions are, but to change those easily, click on this again, and then you're going to go right over here and change it here. Notice I have mine set to inches because that's what I'm familiar with. Hey, Rosetta, welcome. Thank you. Happy New Year to you. And I want this to be, let's go 4.75. Now, notice that the lock is on. So right now, just like in other software, if I do 4.75, it's still not a square because the lock was on. So let's go ahead and unlock it. And let's change this one to 4.75 as well. Now I have the square that I want. I don't even know what size of hoop I'm working in right now, but I can go up and look. Before I do that though, I always like to keep my things in the middle of the hoop. That's just how I design. And then once I'm at the embroidery machine, I can move it. But it makes sense in my mind just to always have it in the middle of the hoop so I can predict where it would be if I don't move my hoop. Okay, so I go up to Utility and I say Center in Hoop, and now it is. So let's go up here. Usually you can see it down here, but my sharing thing is in the way. So let's go to Settings. And okay, right now I'm in a big mighty hoop. Big mighty hoop. Let's go up here. No, I don't want to do 4.75. It really doesn't matter what hoop it's in. I could do it in this one. It does not matter. Okay, let's go ahead and say center hoop again in case I mess something up. Okay, so this is my initial placement stitch. Let's see. So the feature I use to create an outline from stitches on page is a level 3 feature. I need to learn which feature. Yes, and you could do that. I don't know if you were here yet, Angel, through the demo account. You can turn off 3 and just do 2. You can see what's in there that's not in 3, and then you can turn 3 back on and see. Because, yeah, that's the only way, to me, I would be able to tell. Hey, Pretty, welcome. Hey, Dorika. All right, so this would be my placement stitch. Now, in my situation, I'm going to put this in a fairly small hoop. So I may still hoop my fabric, but maybe everybody's not going to hoop their fabric. Maybe they're working in a big hoop and they don't want to waste that much fabric. So for designs, I always put a placement stitch or a position stitch. Newbie Puff Embroidery question: how do I prevent large loop stitches along my puff letters? Anybody who can help her, and I want to see the answer because I have not done puff yet. Okay, so this is my placement stitch. So I want to assign a stitch to it. So I have to go back up here to Create Designs. Notice it is still selected. Right now there's no stitches assigned to it. See, it says Artwork with no stitches. I'm going to go right here to a Run stitch. I'm just doing a placement or a position stitch. Then if I want to, which I don't do this on my initial shape, but if I wanted to, I will do this on my final when it stitches together. But you can change the radius of the corners. So I like a radius of 6. See how it made it soft? You can make it where it's all the way a circle, but if you're going to do that, you're just going to draw a circle. So, you can change these. Oh, look at this. You can even make it like that. So this is kind of a fun little slider. But for now, I'm going to leave it at just squared off corners. Let's go look at my run stitch. So types of run stitches, a single, meaning one time around, tie off the stitch, add a tie off stitch. Thank you, I'm biased. I'm gonna have to learn how to do that. Okay, you could do a double. That simply means it's gonna go around twice. You can do a bean stitch, and that's gonna go around, you can tell it to go around 3, 5, 7, 9, and that makes kind of a thick, I haven't figured out what I would use it for yet, but I know there's a use. Hey, Shay Shay. Let's see. We have a chain stitch. Let me make this bigger so you can see what these look like. That's a chain stitch, back stitch, stem. I've never looked at that one. Or sashiko. I've never done that one either. I'm just going to do a single stitch because this is truly just my position or my placement stitch. Now I want this to get smaller again. You can click on this and then click on the H, and it takes you back to the size that it doesn't tell you the size it was. It takes you to the size of your hoop, basically. Remember, I have a large hoop in here. Okay, so for my run stitch, it's a single, and the length, that's a little big. It's just a position stitch, so it doesn't need to be tight or anything, but let's put it at 3 millimeters, okay? Okay, so if you want to look at what's going on, you go up here to the stitch simulator, and you see that it's one run stitch. Excuse me, let me get a drink real quick. Okay, so now the next stitch that I want to do is going to be, let me go back to this. The next stitch I want to do is my material stitch or my tack down stitch. Again, we are assuming people are not hooping their base fabric because some people might not. If somebody gets this file and they're going to hoop their base fabric, they can skip steps 1 and step 2. But I like to do it this way so that everybody can have it the way they want it. Okay, so this is selected. I'm going to hit Command, hold Command down, and then hit the C. So I'm holding Command down and I'm clicking C. Then I let up on everything. What I'm going to do is duplicate this or copy this. Then I'm going to hold Command down, keep it held down, and hit the V key. So that is paste. Now you can't see that it's pasted there. And if I go up here to edit and undo, it's going to undo it. So we're not going to do it that way. But here's what I'm going to do. Here's my first one. And if you want to, you can rename these. That's what I used to do. Let's say placement. And then let's call this tack down. And then I want it a different color. And this is how I get my machine to stop. If I wanted to stop at every stitch, that's how I digitize it. That's how I design it. Then I'm just going to change the color. So I'm going to click on the word color, and I'm going to click on the color, and then I'll over here on color. Palettes just means what colors have I used in my current design. Threads gives you a whole host of colors. So we don't really care. We're just going to pick one. And we're going to say, okay. So now you can see that this top one, so here's what I was trying to say. If I move it off so that you can see there's 2, and then I hit edit, undo, it goes away. See, I only have my original one. So I'm going to hit Command C, Command V, and now there they are. Let's just get rid of that. Oh my goodness, Marilyn. Okay, they're still there. I'm sorry. Because the last thing I did was the color. So that's why it didn't go away. My mistake. Okay. But let's say you draw the first one, then you and put thread to it, and then you draw a second one, put thread to it, and you're like, I don't even see there's 2. Look over here, because if you hit undo, it's going to go away unless you did what I did and change the color of it. Okay, so what color is this one? This one is dark green. My tack down is dark green. I don't want them the same color because I want it to always stop. All right. So that's the base of our mug rug. Because I copied this placement and just copied it and pasted it, this is still going to have the exact same run stitch. So if we look at the stitch simulator, you have your placement or position stitch, and then you have your tack down stitch, or they call it a material stitch. So now we're getting ready to start playing inside. Unbiased, I'm going to need a lesson on that. I'm going to need a lesson on that. Okay. So I'm going to do something that has to do with Valentine's Day. Hold on, just a minute. Not truly Valentine's Day. Let me look and see what words I used before. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so you guys can see it still. So now I want to add words, and there's two ways I could add words. There's more than two ways. You can add words using their text. You can add words using your system fonts. This TT, even though it says it's true type, it'll take the other type as well. The what's it called? The true type, and then the open type, OT. Or if you made your words in Silhouette, you could hit vector and bring it in that way. So this first one was the placement stitch for where to put your pretty fabric. So let's just say all you did was you hooped your stabilizer, or you could hoop your stabilizer and your batting, your stabilizer and your fusible fleece. So in my mind, this next one would be where you put your pretty fabric down. But if you don't have your batting down, you can put your batting down and your pretty fabric and do the tack down stitch that way. Okay, so 3 ways to do the words. You could use their fonts. You could, let's go back to this. You could use your own fonts. That's what we're going to do. Or I could click vector and I could go find a Word file that I made in Silhouette. Okay, let's see. Okay, hey Jessie. Hey Faker Big Fake. So what I want to do is, I don't want to use their font. I want to go over here. Make sure I'm in the right place. Okay. This button, just keep clicking on it and you'll get where you want to be. So we're going to go true type. Now that brings up this text box. And when I was playing around earlier, I used this Vamo, and that's what we're going to use. But let's say you wanted to use a different type of font. I have one of those Asian beetles flying around in here, so you might see it. You know, you can pick any of the fonts that you see here, which should be the fonts that are on your computer. So I am going to use this Vamo, and I might have to go back and say Vamo in a minute. Let's see. And I want to say B, and I'm going to do all caps, mine. And then I'm going to say, okay. All right, there it is. And now what I want to do is go ahead and click on it, because I don't want mine to be on the same line as that. But I have found it's easier for me to keep them together so that if you resize it, you're resizing. Okay, that's not the way to select. The way to select is go back up here, click on select, and then drag your cursor around it. So if I want these to be larger, I like them just to be together and do it all at one time. So let's see if that's about the right size. All right, let's go ahead and select mine and drag it below, because we're going to put a heart up in that corner. Now I'm going to select everything, and I'm going to go up to utility and say center and hoop. Okay, I think that could be a little larger. Let's go ahead and just drag it. That might be pretty good. I'm going to go back to utility, and I'm going to say center and hoop again. And you can always do that later. That's just my workflow, is just keep it in the center. I like doing that. Okay, so now if I want to see what this is going to look like with various stitches, let's Zoom in a little bit because I want you to see this. I'm going to select it. I'm going to go up to the Create Designs so that my various types of stitches pop up. Click on it, and here's my various types of stitches. So remember, we already looked at run stitch. We have satin border. We have applique, and there's various border stitches for applique. We have motif run. We have program motifs such as French knot. I've never used that. I looked at this today. Now, it won't work right now. It's not good to use right now because we have the words there. But you have your fills, your satin columns, which I want to learn to work with more. I love this stipple stitch. We're going to be using it in a little bit. Motif fill. We're actually going to use this freestanding or quilted fill here in a little bit. And then we have cross stitch area. So we're going to put a fill in here. And I'm going to change it a different color because that is so dark that you really can't see any of the texture in it. If I change it to a light color, now all of a sudden you can really see more of the texture to it and what it looks like. So let's make this larger so you can see more. All right, bye Up Design. Thank you for coming in. Okay, so let's look at the different fills. I'm going to click on fill here. And we're not necessarily going to play with all these today, but we're going to look at the various types of fill stitches. So tatami is the basic fill stitch. That's what I mostly use. But let's see what else is there. This one, I can't remember if this is one Angel B uses or not. I love this one. This one is so pretty. We're going to use that tonight. But let's look at the rest of them. Now, the other thing is, well, I'll come back. We can change some of these parameters so that it looks a little different. But let's look at the different stitches first. Snake. Waves. The second waves is going to look similar, but it's going to be kind of, a little different. Scales. I love this second one. The scales too for a little girl's outfit or something. That's really cute. Cornrow one. I love this one. And I assume they put more stitches here so it becomes more prominent. I'm not sure how they get this. That one basically changed the direction of it. So you can play with all these. I want to show you down here. I like wicker too. It's just pretty plain. Today, let's use brick. Hey, Faker McFake, thank you. Oh, you were saying have a great evening to Up Design. Thank you. Okay, so I like this. Now I can play with this length. Let's look and see. Right now it's on 3.5. But see, I don't like that so much. That's too much. Let's take it down some. Now you're starting to see more of it come back into the view. So you can just play with all of these. Let's go really small. That's interesting. Oh, that would be dense. I'll bet that would be dense. Let's go up here to the density map. Oh, it's not. It's not dense at all. It's fine. So to get out of this density map, if you click on it again, you're going to see more the lines of your stitches. We click it a third time and you get out of it. That's pretty cute, but I want to, let's look at something. Notice I'm already at 14,425. Let's take this back up to, I think it was 3.5. And now when I let go of this, you're going to see the stitches change. Let's see how much it changes. Oh, almost half as many stitches because they're longer stitches, but I like it this way. Let's try this. Okay, I don't remember who asked the question about in Stitch Artist 2, can you do word art and then put the thing around it, the outline around it? But that's what we're going to do now. Hey, Sandra. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Tammy. Okay, so now let me go ahead and go up here, go to Utility and Group, or Edit and Group. And things come ungrouped all the time. I don't really understand why. You just have to learn to deal with it. But I have this selected. I am going to duplicate this. So I'm going to hit Command-C for copy, Command-V for paste. And now I have a second set on top of the first set. Let's go down and change the color of it. We're going to change the stitch too, but I want you to see all this to get a better understanding if you're new to this. So many of you know way more than I do. So we're going to simulate what it looks like. So there is, well, let me make this smaller so we can see the whole thing. Okay. There is our placement or position stitch. There is our tack down or our material stitch. Here is our brick fill. And then here's a second brick fill right over the top. Okay. We don't want that second brick fill. We want that to be an outline stitch. So I'm going to click right here. See over here on the right where B mine shows. It has that second set of stitches selected. You can see the first set above it. We are going to click back up here on Create Designs. And we're going to go back to, let's go back to a satin border. It's going to have to be a teeny tiny little satin border. Hey, Retired Crafter 22. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Do you have to assign the type stitch because you used a true? Yes, yes, yes. If you use their text, or not their text, but if you use the fonts that you put in there that are BX fonts, that are embroidery fonts, they already have the fill assigned to them. That's a great question. Okay, so this second Be Mine, it is selected. So we are going to go up here and we're going to assign a satin border. Now it's going to look bad when I do this, but we're going to fix it. So if I hit on satin border, look how huge that is. We don't want that. You're going to click right here. And here's where you can fix that. Now, if I make it even bigger, it really looks terrible. But we're going to take that down to the minimum size of the 1.0 millimeters. And I think that looks good. Now, I have not stitched it out yet, so I don't know what it'll look like. But let's look at it more closely. And so that you can really see it. If you wanted to add a different color, which I don't, I think I want to leave this as a nice finishing stitch in the same color, but I'm not tied to that, so I could if I wanted to. I could change it. Okay, let's just pick a random color. It doesn't matter, but I'm being a little picky. Okay, let's say we want that color. So now you can see how that can kind of be a nice little pretty effect. Is it worth it to add that many more stitches on a little 4.5, 5-inch mug rug? I don't know. We're gonna see. I don't know. Let's look and see what it would stitch out like. So once again, we have our placement or position stitch. We have our tack down stitch. We have our fill stitch. And that was a brick fill stitch. And then we have our satin border. And yeah, that's what we're looking like. And I'm not too concerned about the colors because what matters on your machine is what color you assign to it on your machine. You think it'll stitch out fast? Okay. We're going to add a little more to it. We're going to add heart over here. And remember I said we're not going to have to go into silhouette to do anything. Typically I would make my heart in silhouette and I would bring it over here. But when I was playing with this, I went to their library. So we're going to, now, if anybody out there has Stitch Artist Level 1, do you have the library for Stitch Artist Level 1? Do you have the library in Essentials? You might have the library in Essentials. Keisha, this is a little bigger than 4x4, but if I like it, I'm going to make it in a couple sizes for my channel members. So, okay. So we're going to go up here to this library. And let me see. Mylene says yes. Yes, because I asked 2 questions. I should have just left it at 1 question. But can you use the library in just Essentials? I'm going to re-ask that. Okay. Floriani was a big dollar investment, but it serves no purpose if I can't use it. True. Yes, you do. Thank you, Cheryl. Hey, Damps. And thanks, Mylene and Fern. Yes and yes. Thanks, everybody. All right. Because I am no expert at this by any means. But we're going to open this library and bring a design in from it. So I'm going to click on that. And lo and behold, looky here. So let's look and see what you have. You have envelopes, which I've done a video on envelopes, how you can use theirs or you can make your own. Trying to remember what shape I had. Was it a cat? I made an envelope inside the body of a cat. So you can make your own envelope. So what an envelope does is it makes it where any words you type in there go to the shape of your envelope. That's what an envelope is. Or you can use their envelopes, and they have a lot. So you have that in the library. I don't even know what this is. Okay. Got some applique shapes. So I really haven't looked through a lot of this because I just kind of bring in my own stuff. But this outlines. This is what I found today. So you have hearts, you have stars, you have various shapes, horses, all kinds of things. Floral. I have been in this one before. I used something in here in this floral one a long time ago. We aren't going to go through all these, but let's look and see. Is there a heart here? Nope. Okay, so we're going to go back up to the hearts. And I'm going to use this plain heart. And I'm going to say, okay. And there it is. And you see right here? Oops. That's it. So now let me try to drag this up. Okay. Take your own device, go up here to the select tool. There we go. Now we don't want it like that. That's boring. Let's turn it. Let's make it bigger. Let's have a little bit of layering effect. Matter of fact, I'm going to put some stitches to this. Then we're going to make it even larger and see what it would look like. Okay, so I have my heart here, and I want to turn this into an applique. But I am going to decide later that applique doesn't suit my needs. Oh, and you know what I didn't do? There's something else I wanted to do back here. Darn it. Okay, we're going to copy and paste this, and it's going to go to the bottom, which drives me insane because then you got to either drag it up or I wish it would just put it right under it. Okay. Because I want to do some, not stippling, but it's going to be similar to stippling. I want to add something that'll make it look quilted. So let's go back here. This time, I'm going to use this freestanding lace one. And we're going to go right down here where it says lace. And we're going to fix it. First of all, I don't want it to stitch over it twice. I just want it to stitch over it once. And we're going to make it where it's really big. And I learned something today. So I wanted it to be even spread out more than that. And so I was like, well, okay. Let's see, will it take a different number? And it did. So for some reason in this, you can change the number. You can make it larger. But when I was doing the satin border around my letters, I was wanting to see if I can make it smaller than the 1 millimeter or whatever they had. And it wouldn't let you go smaller. Okay, so this would just be my quilting effect or my stippling effect. And so at this point, got our placement, we have our tack down. Ooh, okay, it was the same color as the last one. I'm going to change that because I don't like to have the same color twice in a row. Then on top of that, we have our fill. And then we have that. Now you might wonder, why didn't it stitch out the heart? Because I haven't assigned any stitches to it yet. Hey, Diane. Okay, so that is fixed. Other than I want to change the color of this because I don't like to have colors twice in a row. Alrighty, now. Okay, so I'm good. Now my heart right here. There it is. And I want to show you what would happen if I try to make this into an applique. So I click right here and then I go to applique And I don't want this E-stitch. I want a blanket or a satin border stitch. And I'm fine with that size. And right now it just has a position stitch on where to put that fabric down. I want to go ahead and have a position and a material stitch. So I'm going to click on that. Now here's the deal is I'm going to have fabric in there, and I thought it'd be cute to do a separate stippling effect on that fabric. But when I was playing with this earlier, I was like, I cannot figure out a way if I use their automated applique stitch. I couldn't figure out a way to make that happen. Because if let's just copy this, if I took this heart and I added it there, if I added it there, those stitches are on top of my satin border stitch, and that's not going to look great. It's hard to tell here. Let's see. Why? Oh, you want me to click right there, don't you? It's hard to tell in this, but these stippling stitches are going on top of that, and I don't want that. I want the stippling stitches to go, or stipple stitches, whatever they're called. I want them to go after I put the fabric down and after I tack it down, but before I put my satin border. So, I don't know if there's anybody in our community that has an affiliate link for Embrilliance. If there is, I definitely would love for them to get credit for it. So if you're in here and you have one, please let us know. And because I wholeheartedly believe in affiliate links, because people are doing the work and, you know, they get a little bit. Okay, so here's what I decided to do. Because I don't want my... Here, let me show you so you can see what I'm talking about. There we go. If I change it to color, you can see those stipple stitches are on top of my satin border stitch, and that is not going to finish off the best way. It's just not going to be super pretty. So we're going to get rid of that. We're going to go back to this, and we're going to make our own applique. We're going to add that stitch in exactly where I want it. So let me move this down so we can look at it. So what was the first? Okay, also I want to do something. I want to get rid of this for now, and I want to go up to create, and I want to say that I want a begin a new design. I know you guys can't see this, but there's an Asian beetle right here on my desk. Okay, I'm okay now. You're welcome. Move your applique last. But then, unbiased, I wouldn't have the position, I wouldn't have my fabric down yet because I wouldn't have my position stitch. So I'm going to have to do it by hand. So here's what I'm going to do. I think I said begin new design. Yes. So I'm down here and begin new design. I'm going to go back to my, that's not what I want. Let's find our heart. We'll bring it in. And this is how you can make an applique. It's just, it's not automated for you. You're doing the work yourself, which isn't a big deal. And honestly, it helps you learn more about Embrilliance and how things work. And eventually we may put the word over the heart, or we may keep the heart over the word. We'll see what looks best. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is go up here to do a run stitch. That is going to be my placement stitch. If I want to write the word placement, not in all caps, I'm not yelling, to remind me what it is for now, I can do that. I see it's a single line at 3 millimeters. That's perfectly fine because 3 millimeters is fine. I'm not sewing things together. So now I need my tack down stitch. So I'm going to click on placement, hit Command C for copy, Command V for paste. I'm going to change a different color because that's just what I do. Crazy colors. And I'm still going to have that single run stitch because I copied this placement stitch, which had a run stitch, a single run stitch. So I'm going to name it tack down just to keep myself from getting confused. Now I would have my fabric on there. It'd be, oh, that's okay, unbiased. Hey, Uni, I'm going to add my fabric on there after the placement stitch. Let's just run through it. For those of you that are experienced, you're like, oh my gosh, Marilyn, this is so redundant. There we go. Placement, tack down. Then we have that free lace thingy. Then we have our fill. Then we have our outline. Then we have our placement. So I'm going to do the placement stitch. I'm going to lay my pretty fabric down on it. I'm going to tack it down. After I've tacked it down and I've cut it away, then it's time to add that stipple stitch. So I am going to copy and paste this. I'm going to change it a different color. And I'm going to make that a stipple stitch. So I'm going to go back up here and I'll hit stipple. And you know, you can play around with the spacing. Let's just go down a little bit. That looks fine. There's different patterns. I like the drunkard. There's curvy. It's good too. I like it. There's leafy. I don't like it as much. And I don't like this geometric really. But that's all personal preference. Do I like drunkard better or do I like curvy better? I kind of like that curvy. Let's go curvy today. Now I can put that satin border stitch on and it's going to be in the correct order. Now, do I have the same color twice in a row? Nope. Okay, so we're going to copy and paste. And now we're going to go to the second stipple stitch and make that a satin border. So we're just reassigning. If you copy and paste, we're just reassigning the correct stitch to it. And that's really small. It's a little too small because I don't like to cut that precisely. And I have begun cutting out my fabric on my laser, but if I get to stitch this out tonight, I probably won't do it on the laser. Okay. When you rename the items, does that print out when you print it? I'm not sure, Karen. Somebody says yes. Okay. Now, let's look and see. Do you think it would be better to have your fabric and your border and all that over the E or under the E? I think the heart should be the focal, so I like it on top. If I wanted to change it, I could select everything in this heart and I could drag it up to where I want it. But this is really where I want it. Okay, thanks Dee. So Becky with Power Tools with Thread has a link. So if you go to Power Tools with Thread, she'll probably have it in one of her video descriptions or about me or something like that. Thanks, Dee. Okay, so you know I don't want to have two of the same colors in a row. So I'm going to go change this. And let's have it be something that goes with that blue. Let's just go with this kind of green color. All right. Crazy colors. But I think not. Oh, so not touching at all. I want it to be layered. I like it layered, but let's see what it look like. You have to make sure you select all parts of that design. So if I were like, oh, I want my satin border over, and I just moved it, it's not going to be lined up with these. So you have to make sure you select everything in that part of the design. And so if we don't want it touching at all, it would look like that. And that's fine too. For now, I want to play around though with hidden stitches. So we got to have them touch. You're welcome, Dee. But we can untouch it here a little bit. So hidden stitches, removing hidden stitches feature makes it where see the satin border on the E? A satin border can be kind of bumpy. So if you can use the hidden stitches feature, it can help this be a little more smooth. Let's go look and see what we're going to see right now, because I don't think we're going to see that some of those stitches are removed until we do something. Okay, there's that, there's that. Let's get to our outline and we'll be able to see really quickly. So the outline looks like an outline should look like. The hidden stitches feature isn't showing up yet. So let's, whoops, sorry. Let's go up here. Let's click on this. Let's click on it a second time. And to To have a preview of your hidden stitches, or what removing hidden stitches will do, you click right here. I want this bigger. Okay, so to have a preview of what removing hidden stitches will do, you click right here. So let's click on it. Let's see if it works. Let's see if I've done everything the way I should to get it to work. So I'm gonna be able to tell. I think it's gonna work. I can tell with this being so skinny that I think it's gonna work. Now I see a weird stitch down here. Okay, let's see. Okay, so let's look at this. Notice, see how there's not as many stitches here? There's just the underlay stitches. That's because these thicker satin border stitches are removed so that when we get that heart satin stitch over it, you can see all those stitches. It's not going to be as lumpy or bumpy there. And that's the whole purpose of that. Now, whether I click on this or not, that is for me to preview it. If I have it set to remove hidden stitches, it's going to remove the hidden stitches. Now, sometimes removing hidden stitches will give you consequences you didn't want. So, for example, there are multiple stitches in the same place on this. Let's see if it messed that up. If it did, there's a way to fix it. But that's going all the way around, that's going all the way around, and that's working. Okay, so it didn't. But there is a way to fix it. So if, and I had to learn this the hard way. If, let's say this didn't show up, and this didn't show up, because this lace is going to go right over on top of it, but I still want these, what you can do is you can click on the color, click on applique, and you can say that's an applique position stitch. By adding a reason to have the stitch, it makes it where the hidden stitches won't remove them. So I can do the same thing on, I gotta say, okay. I could do the same thing on the tack down, and you're still gonna call it a position stitch, because if I'm still gonna call it a position stitch. And I gave it that role or responsibility. That will keep those from disappearing with the hidden stitches feature. And one I did earlier, I had to do that. I don't know why this one I don't, but if you start learning Embrilliance, you understand how to fix things that mess up, it's a good thing. Okay, so that's what it looks like so far. If I wanted to, I could add, I'm not going to do this because I don't think it looks great. I tried it earlier. But if I wanted to, I could keep putting things here. Let's say I want another heart inside this heart that's a fill stitch. I could say merge designs. I could pick another heart, whatever shape I want. I could make it smaller. You gonna let me select you and move you? Yes. You know, I could tuck it in right here, and I could go up and I could say, let's put a fill stitch in that. Maybe I want a fill stitch that is tatami. So I play around with that. So, you know, you can continue to layer things. You just have to think about the order in which you have them layered, and you might have to move them around. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. And I still need to have a stitch to close up my mug rug. Now, some people, now I feel like that's not the middle of the hoop. So here's what I want to do. I want to make sure that's in the middle of the hoop, center and hoop. Then the be mine, and I'm going to hold command down and get this be mine. Let's see if they're in the middle of the hoop. Yep, I guess they are. Okay. I don't want to do that on this heart, because if I click on this heart and I say center in the middle of the hoop, it's going to land right here. If you want to make sure everything is centered, you'll select everything and you'll center it that way. Okay, so some people like to have a stitch where it goes most of the way around, but maybe you leave, a 2-inch gap here. Then you put what's going to be your back fabric, you put it on top, pretty side down. And then after you turn it right side out, you have to go back and stitch this somehow. Maybe you put it on your sewing machine and you do a top stitch all the way around. Those finish off super nicely. I do it the lazy way. I like to do an envelope closure. And so I'll show you what that looks like if you haven't heard of an envelope closure. I'll show you here in just a minute what that looks like. Let's grab a couple of these out. This one's my favorite, I think. I don't know. They're all cute. Okay, envelope closure, envelope closure. Let's get one more. Let's see, envelope closure. Okay. So I have to have a stitch to close up, put my pretty fabric on top and close it up. With an envelope closure, I can show you better later, but you're going to layer 2 pieces of fabric, sew around it, and it's just like doing an envelope pillow cover. You can flip it right side out that way. Charlene, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so I need that last one. If I wanted to, I could go right up here and I could say, let's copy and paste that at the bottom. Now, before I do that, I want to go over here, create, design, begin new design. I've gotten into where I'm having everything separate these days. Or I can, if I don't want the exact same size, I can click on this square, and don't worry, it didn't go away. I like to have my last stitch inside, just slightly inside those first stitches. And the reason I do that is because when I first started, I didn't do that. And sometimes I could see those placement stitches or the tack down stitches just slightly where the fabric had been turned. So now I like to have it just a little smaller. I want to make sure this is in the center. So we're going to say center and hoop and move just a little bit. I need to assign, I didn't copy and paste from another layer, so I need to assign a stitch to this. Hey, Ron. You upgraded Stitch Artist 1 to 3 and saved, you think, 120 bucks. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. So we are going to assign a stitch to this. It is a run stitch. I'm going to change the shape of it. I want to add that rounded corner. I like to use 6, but you can use something else. Let's go up a little bigger. It's just personal preference. I think 6 is good. Let's try 8 today. It's going to look just about the same. Then I'm going to go over to my run stitch. And because this is sewing 2 pieces, a bunch of pieces together, it's going to sew your stabilizer and if you have batting in there, or fusible fleece, or it's going to have your first layer, it's going to have your last layer. So I want to do a couple things. I want to make this a double stitch, and I'm going to go ahead and make it a little smaller. I want to make it 2.5. And Chris Calavo, thank you so much for teaching me this stuff. All right, so I think we're done. But we are going to, let me look at something. So that's green. Let's see what color this is. It's green. I don't like to have 2 colors twice in a row. Let's go back over to color, and it can be a different green. Again, I don't get too concerned about what colors I use here, because what matters is the colors that you put on your machine or that you assign to it if you're using a multi-needle. Okay. So let's see how it's going to stitch out. Now, somebody didn't like this overlapping that. What do you guys think? Should I move it? I can easily move it over so they're not overlapping. I just kind of like layers. Okay, so we have our position or placement stitch. We have our tack down or material stitch. Now we're getting into all of this. And I can skip steps 1 and 2 because I'm going to hoop my fabric And this is going to do the same as a tack down stitch because it goes around the outside too. Okay, now I have my fill stitch. I have my satin border. I have my position stitch in my heart, my tack down stitch in my heart, my stipple stitch, my satin border stitch around the heart. Debating on making that larger. And then I have my closing stitch. Satin border, let's check you out. Okay, notice I can't find it. Click up here. There we go. Let's change that from a width of 2. Let's go to a width of 3. There we go. Okay, so what do you guys think? Should I, okay, leave it like that. You don't have it looking for discounts on the discount. Hey, Eve. Thank you, Uni. Uni says, hit that like button. Here, we'll compromise. So I'm going to click right here so I get all parts of that heart layer because I can't leave any of those behind or it's not going to be lined up correctly. Is that better? Is that a compromise? All right, time to save this file. And then I want to show you in stitch. So for those of you that have, you like the overlap? I do too. I'm just kind of weird that way. Now, there's a teeny little part poking out there, so I don't know. Let's move it back one. Or make it a little larger. Let's just make it a little larger. Let's make it a little larger. There, we have a little bit more showing. Let's check one more time on the hidden stitches feature. Remember, click this until it shows up. And it's this pair of scissors. This isn't telling it to hide the stitches. This is telling it, you have to have your settings for that. This is telling, thanks Dee, this is just telling the software to preview it when you do your simulation. So we have all that. Okay, there is a weird thread in here. And earlier today I had that happen and it was the weirdest thing how I fixed it. It was so weird. Okay, we have all those. We have all that. That looks good. And then we have the outside. So everything's looking good. Now earlier today, what I did to fix that, let me blow it up so I can show you. I do not understand. These don't show up until you activate your hidden stitches preview. And then all of a sudden, look at these weird stitches in there. Weird stitches. So I'm going to click on, is it really selected? Okay, I'm clicking on my fill stitch. And what I did earlier today was so weird. I just went back here and I clicked on fill stitch again and it went away. I don't know if it will now. Let's see. Yeah, it went away. The weird things you learn. Weird things you learn. Okay, so we're going to do that. And then click on that and it's back to the size of my hoop. So I'm going to say File, Save As. I want to save it as a stitch file and a working file because if I save it as a working file, then it's harder to make changes to it. And I want to make this in at least 6 different varieties, 6 different extensions. For example, my machines use DST. Some machines use PES. And so when I put this in the members tab, I want it to have all those extensions. So I just go back to my working file and resave it as the extension I want it. But we're going to save as, and let's say EMB for embroidery, Be Mine Mug Rug. And I think it was like, what, 4.75? Something like that. Now, will it take that in the name? I don't know. Let's see. Okay, it liked the name. So, with a Pula machine and some other machines, you can use what's called in-stitch. Now, not every Pula machine will use this. If you have an older one that wasn't in-stitch capable, you can't do it. Okay, let's see. Ron. Is someone getting into embroidery? I haven't even ordered my machine yet. Don't know don't want to start with a single needle. Which Embrilliance program should I start with? Most people would tell you to start with Essentials. If you don't have a machine yet, I would start with the demo version, which I showed at the beginning, closer to the beginning of the video. A demo version will let you test drive all the different parts of it, all the different parts of Embrilliance to see what you would like. So I wouldn't spend a penny yet if you don't have a machine and you're not going to use it yet. I would start with that demo version. If you want to go ahead and spend some money and start making some files, but you can't test them and you always want to test them, then I would probably start with Essentials. I didn't start with Essentials. I started with Stitch Artist 2. And the only reason I got Essentials was so I could do what's called color sort, which is a long story as well. Basically, when you're doing multi-lettered words or other multi-pieced applique files, if you don't do your own applique like I did today, if you have the machine do the applique, you can hit color sort on Essentials and it streamlines it so that you're doing all your placement stitches first, then all your tack down, then all your satin border stitches. If you don't have that feature, you're going to have to do each letter at a time. So placement stitch of the letter A, tack down stitch of the letter A, satin stitch of the letter A. Then you move to B and you start over, which is not, it's just not efficient. So Essentials is a great place to start. Okay, so I have not used this for a long time. I opened it today. I did not use it today. So let's cross our fingers and hope this works. Okay, so InStitch is just an online place where you can house your files and then you can transfer them wirelessly to your machine. If I don't get it to work, I have a little zip drive. But let's see. Upload pattern. Okay, so I have to click or drag it. Now don't look at my desktop. Sharon Davenport, don't look at my desktop. Okay, I named it EMB something. Is this it? I think that's it. Okay, let's drag it here. There it is. And when I dragged it there, it added it right up here. So I'm going to click that closed. Sharon, did you look? Thank you, Patrice. Thank you. Okay, so it is right here. Notice I see here I have 7 patterns. Let me turn on my machine. And let me see. Well, I'll just show you in a minute. Okay, so I have 7 patterns. I want to transfer this one to my machine. So I'm going to click on it. And let me see if I have to do something else or if it's going to be there. Okay, right now it says not connected. Okay, that's the one I did earlier. Let me look and see. So if I go to InStitch Cloud, it is not there yet. Okay. Oh, wait, is that it? Nope, that's not it. Okay, so I have it. Let's go ahead and select it, and I'm going to say upload pattern. And let me see if it shows up over here. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. It's counting the percentage of what's transferred of it yet. Right now it's at 13%. It won't take very long. It's kind of stuck on 13% for some reason. But usually it transfers just really, really. Oh, there we go. It took off again. It transfers usually really, really quickly. Okay, so that is, I probably need to leave that open. Let's go back. And at this point, I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen unless there was anything else that somebody needed to see. Oh. Did I close it already or is it back here? Are you back there? Okay. Okay. I guess I did. Okay. Uploading to your 10 needle through Baby Lock Design is hit or miss. Sending wireless to your Baby Lock Solaris works every time. I've never had this not work. It's just I haven't done this process for a very, very long time, and all I did was open up InStitch before the live to make sure it was open. Good job, Vern. Vern used her multi-needle. Good deal. And if you're not familiar with that, Patrice has been on Fern for a while, because Fern's had those machines for 2 multi-needles and wasn't using them. Fern, you brought it up. Don't be mad. Okay. So let me go ahead and add my poulin to what you can see. There it is. And let me, okay, let's get back. Okay. Let's see if this is going to help. Let's see if you can see this. Okay, so this is not the one that I just did. Remember I said I was playing with them earlier today? That's one I did earlier. So let me look at something. Let's go over here. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick my pattern or my design. And so, oh, thanks, Rosetta. You're not in tune anymore. Good. Okay. So right up here, it says pattern. So the first step on this is to pick your pattern. Are you using a built-in pattern of the machine, some poulin artwork, a border? You can add borders to things. Are you going to do text on your machine? I never do text here. I do text in Embrilliance. Let me schedule an embroidery Zoom so I can see what Fern is up to. Yes. Okay, so I can either select my patterns on my USB drive. That's this little thumb drive sticking in here. Or let's go back. How do I go back? There we go. Let's go back. And let's see what's in the InStitch cloud. So we're going to click on that. Here's the one. Why does it look weird like that? Hopefully it comes in okay. Here's the one that we just uploaded. Look at it. It looks weird. It looks weird. Let me do that again. Or actually, at this point, I'm probably just going to put it on my thumb drive. No, I want to see. Why did that do that? Why did that do that? I haven't had that happen before. Okay, so let's see. Give me just a second. Let's upload it again. I'm tempted to turn my machine off. Okay, upload. I don't know. I've never had that come in weird like that. Upload pattern. And give me just a second. I can always transfer it old style. I don't know, but we're not gonna bother with you. Yeah, crazy things. So let me go ahead and put my design on my little thumb drive. Now I might have to disconnect. I'm probably going to have to disconnect the camera that is right here while I do that because I can't fit these things side by side, I don't think. Let me see. Nope. Okay, so we're going to have to disconnect this camera for a minute. And then I'm going to plug in my thumb drive. I need to get an adapter that has more than one USB drives there together. Thanks, Fern. Okay, now let me find it on my desktop. Okay, is that you? I hope you go in right. I hope I didn't mess something up. Okay. Drag it to my thumb drive. Replace, okay. You look on it, make sure I see it. Okay, there it is right there. It looks fine on this. So I'm going to eject that. And then let me get my camera back so that you can see what I'm doing over there. I don't even have fabric or anything out here. And it's, do you guys even want to stitch it out today? It'll take me a minute to get back in here with the right camera. Okay, let's enter the studio. Okay, back in action. Okay, I'll keep going for now. I don't know if you guys want to sit through this whole thing, but let's go ahead and transfer this. Tamales, yummy, yummy. Okay, so let's put this in. And then I'm going to click on, so if you can see right here, I can click on that and then I can select things that I have on my USB drive. And I can tell, see when I was playing earlier, that's a huge heart that went under most of the design. That's not it. So it's this one. You see it on the screen there. There it is. And so I'm going to click back, I think. I haven't done this in a while, guys. Oh, okay, now I'm going to go to config. So under config, you're going to choose what hoop you want and things like that. So hopefully you can see that. Give it a minute, make sure I can see it. I think it's good. So I'm going to click on config. And then right down here, I can select my colors. I don't care. I'm just going to put the colors on there I want to put on there. I'm not even going to pick colors for now. My hoop. And I'm going to use my little 5.5 by 5.5. So I'm good there. I'll just hit save. And then I'm going to go over here to embroidery. And I'm ready. I'm ready, ready, ready. So I'll say ready. And if I wanted to, I could trace it. Let me go ahead and I've got to get my fabric and everything put together. So, oh, that's okay, Keisha. Okay, I'll stitch it out. If you guys don't want to stay, it's perfectly fine. I'll stitch it out. Let me go ahead. I think I'm going to stitch it out. I was just playing around with it earlier and I had a black piece of fabric. I think blacks and pinks, or black and pinks. Maybe some white. Let's just start. Let's just start and see where it goes. It might have a lot of pink thread in it because when I do my file the first time, I often don't even change the colors because I just want to see, does it stitch out correctly? So this may not be super pretty, but it'll be fine. So let's let my heat press get up to temperature. Let me grab my stabilizer. Oh my goodness, Jess! Thank you! You are a rock star. This was an excellent tutorial, very detailed. Now I'm going to be a mug rug making machine. Thank you. Yes, I appreciate that. Mug rug make queen. She'll be able to pop out 5 designs in the amount of time it took me to do one, because that's how Jess is. She's fast, super fast. And we always give her a hard time for it, and she takes it. She takes it. She has a good sense of humor. Okay. So we're going to cut a piece of fabric out. Remember, I can skip those first 2 steps. If I can remember how to on my machine, I think I can skip those first 2 steps because I'm hooping my fabric. And typically I would probably put some fusible fleece in here or something like that. I'm not going to worry about that today. I also would put on the back of my applique fabric. Keisha, thank you. Aw, thank you. I also would typically put on the back of my applique fabric some Heat and Bond Light. Only the light version is what I use in my machines. I tried to use the regular, not realizing that it wasn't considered sewable, and my machine didn't like it at all. So I used the Heat and Bond Light. We're going to go the quick route because we're just going to see if this stitches out well. And if it does, I'll pop it into the members post. And then I'll also resize it so somebody with a 4x4 could do it. Okay? Okay, so I have some cutaway stabilizer that I'm going to use. We got that, and it's bigger than it needs to be, but it's okay. This is Cutaway Embroidery Stabilizer by Richword. That just fell out of the inside. I like to keep my tags with things. Now, when I was stitching earlier on this machine, it was smooth, but I oiled this machine. I oiled my multi-needle machine today. And so that's something you want to do. Just like other machinery that uses oil, you want to keep it well lubricated. Okay, so let's go ahead and flatten this out, even though it's just a practice stitch out and I'm not really caring too much about it. You know I want to press my stuff because that's what I do. Okay, so I have, let me see if I can point this down a little bit more. Okay. Sorry, I know that's not a great look, but I have my hoop here, and let's say 5.5 by 5.5 inch hoop. I still have tape on it for when I tape something down. With the Poulin EOC 06, you get 3 hoops. Well, actually, you get 4 hoops, but they're in 3 sizes. You get 2 this size. Welcome, Tish Rathman. Welcome to the group. Welcome. Check out that members post because I think there's still something in there from December that I'll be taking out here very soon. Okay, you get 2 of the small hoops. You get 1 medium hoop. I don't remember the exact size of it. But 2 of the smaller hoops. 1 which is something like 8 by 8, I think. And then you get 1 that is 7.9 inches by 11.8 inches. It's big. So the EOC 06 comes with the ability to have a really large hoop, which I'm loving. I am going to make a pedestal for mine, which Angel B taught us about, and so many people have done now. These hoops have an arrow. So there's an arrow here and here. Nope, just up there. There's an arrow here, and there's an arrow on the top part. So you lay this down. We're going to put our stabilizer on it. We are going to put our fabric on it. Our kind of wrinkly fabric. And then just going to go around and find where it goes in. I may have to loosen it a little bit to get it in at first. So go ahead and loosen that. And then I'm just going to press it in. And I like to kind of slide it off my desk. I don't pick it up, but I slide it off my desk so that I can really do what they call burping the hoop. And then this is not stretchy fabric, so I can stretch it. I don't have any stabilizer basted to it like I would if it was stretchy fabric, but it's not stretchy fabric, so I can go ahead and get that a little more tight. Now I'm going to use this screw thing and tighten up my hoop. Okay. Now, if you want to, you can put a screwdriver on the end of it and do it with a screwdriver and get it really, 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 really tight. But I've never done that. I just hand tighten it. Okay, that feels good. Looks good. Patrice, look how smooth the back is. I know that you are the hooping police. I'm the pressing police. You're the hooping police. So it looks good. We're ready to put this on the machine. If I were really making this as a serious mud rug, I would also have some type of batting, fleece, something in there. So, can you guys see what I'm doing here? I'm going to raise this presser foot. You can raise it. Now, if you let go, it doesn't stay raised. So you can raise it to get your hoop easily under there. There's a ton of room when you do that. And then you attach it right here. You pull this, it opens up the little holes that those, well, let me show you. So you have these metal bars, and right here is where they're going to go. And when you open it, you see what happens? The metal opens so that it can go over those two metal bars. Okay, make sure it's good. Put your presser foot down. I often forget that. Okay, so I want to see if I can remember how to skip stitches, because I don't need stitch number. Here, let me get this back. I don't need stitch number 1 or 2 anymore. Okay, don't need stitch 1 or 2 anymore. So we are going to try to skip that. Let's see if I remember how. I think it's needle plus or minus. Nope, that didn't do it. What is it? What is it? What is it? What is it? Let me think, let me think, let me think. Color. Maybe I go to color? Nope. Darn it. I cannot remember. I feel like it should be this, but it's not. I know you can go forward by an entire color. You can skip an entire color, but I can't remember how to do it right now. I'm gonna have to get that, figure that out so I can show you. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and trace it so that I can make sure that it's not gonna bump into my frame. Now remember, when I made this, when I made this, I made it in the center of the hoop. And so it should be centered, and it's plenty small to be able to work. So my presser foot's down. I'm going to hit start. And it's going to do that initial placement stitch, which I don't need. But it's okay. It's not that big of a deal. So it's just going around with that placement stitch. The placement stitch is a pretty long stitch. You don't need it to be a really short stitch. Shorter stitches cause more, bunching and that kind of thing. Needle plus or minus. I thought it was in there, Carol. I know it's in there somewhere. You should have a plus minus icon. That should work. I have that color one. Okay, so now it is prompting me to change my thread color. I'm not going to, and I don't really need to trim it. If I want to trim it, I mean, it's going to start right there anyway. If I wanted to trim it, I click right here, and it just trimmed all my thread. I didn't have to do that because we weren't changing colors, but I did. So I'm going to say, okay, I changed my thread color, and then I'm going to hit start, and then it's going to go to number 2. Let me look at this. Let me look. Color plus 1. Okay. I don't know if I did that successfully. Let's just see. Obviously, I need to study my machine more. Let's see, what did Evelyn say? Sale in store, my sewing center. Are you still at that sewing center at the sale? She told us about this yesterday, or last night, I can't remember which, that a local store where she lives was having a big sale today. Okay, thanks, Cheryl. I saw that one, but on my multi-needle, I can say go to the next color. And so I could have done what you were talking about, Cheryl. Thank you. Oh, it did. Okay. So I went to color and I hit plus color and it skipped it because this stitch also had the stitch going around the outside. So I think I did skip it. Evelyn says, girl, Evelyn, I want to see a picture. Can you post a picture of everything you bought today? I want to see it. Now, this stitch that I'm doing now, which is I'm using it kind of like a stipple stitch or a quilting stitch, it would have more impact if I actually had some batting or some fusible fleece in there. So it's not going to have a huge impact, but I still wanted to do it to make sure it was going to work right. Oh, good. I want to see that picture. All right, let me make this bigger. Now, if we run into a snag, like a broken needle, one time on my Husqvarna, I broke a needle on live, and oh my goodness, like it flew. If we run into some major difficulties, we'll be done. But I shouldn't have even said that. It's going to be smooth sailing. Smooth sailing. Okay. So the next stitch should be, if I'm recalling correctly, it should be the fill stitch. Remember we did the brick fill. I'm not going to change colors. I know it's not going to be cute, but I just want to get through it to make sure it works. So I'm going to go ahead and trim it because that's just what I do. Then we'll hit start. Why are you going so slow? Okay, there we go. I don't know why I was going so slow. Oh no. I don't know what's going on. I guess it's... I have no idea. It's something in my design. Okay, there we go. We're picking up. Maybe I've never used this fill. Maybe this is how it does the underlay stitches for this fill. I don't know. Angel Bee, are you still here? Oh my goodness. I don't know why it's going so slow. Okay, so I'm going to stop for a second because I like to trim my thread, and I see this back here has some thread and some thread there. Do not try to do that while your machine is running, please. I'm going to have to go behind it. Let's just clean up that thread. Okay, that looks better. Now what I'm wondering, I don't know why it's doing that, honestly. But it sends something in my design, and what I don't know is is the Hidden Stitches feature doing this? I don't know. This is kind of crazy. The fabric is black. Brandy, welcome. Welcome. Thank you so much, Brandy. The only thing I can think of is it has something to do with Hidden Stitches. I don't know. Like I said, I've never used this fill before. So what I might do is go back, change the fill to Tatami, which I use all the time, and see if it does this on that. Because that was awful. Awful, awful. It's speeding up now. Makers, not okay. Let me see what you had to say, Tish. Let me see. Oh, Tish, no. KC Makers. So I think that's where I want to go to learn how to use the long arm. I think it was called KC Make It. It's like real close to downtown. It is basically downtown. Is that where it is? Okay, now we're doing much, much better. Oh, that is a cute fill. That brick fill is really cute. Okay, I'm not even doing fizzy water. This is straight water. This is part of me trying to be good to myself and just drinking pure water. Oh, it's not far from IKEA. So maybe the place I'm thinking about was the other place, because I looked at a few places in Kansas City. One of them was a place where you could learn how to use a long arm machine, but it looked like it was really close to downtown, and IKEA is a long way from downtown. I have to try it out. So what was it called? It's called KC Makers. I know I looked at that online. Huh. Interesting. So did anybody do resolutions or priorities or anything like that for the new year? Also, 139, thank you guys for being here. While we're waiting on that to stitch, let me grab the quilt top that I put together. Okay, we're starting on the E. Let's see if we have better luck with that E. It doesn't look like it. It does not look like it. You have better luck with the E. All right, so here's the quilt top that I put together. Got all my trees. The last tree that I did was this one right here yesterday. This is the one that I was pressured into doing. It's cute. But yeah, it has really pretty colors. I probably shouldn't have done a red house. Red doesn't really go with any of the other colors that are in here. But let's see. This was my newest block. Notice how some of the trees have a solid tree and others are 3 pieces. Like this one has 3 pieces. And this is my very, 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 very first one. Oh, happy birthday. Also, we have some birthdays coming up. Let me check. I think very, very soon. Okay, so Rondrea is today. So if you're on here, Rondrea, happy birthday. Rougie, I don't know if Ruth is in here. Hers is tomorrow. Happy early birthday. And Deborah Garrett, hers is next week. So happy early birthday to all you. Happy birthday, Rondrea. Thank you, Keisha. I can come up, Capricia. I can come up to Kansas City very soon. I wonder if they're open on Saturdays. I wonder if they're open on Saturdays. Jess's birthday. Yes, her birthday is coming up too. Is it Monday? Tuesday? Jess, when's your birthday? I want to put it on my calendar. Thank you, Vera. Okay. The E's done. This is crazy, and I know it has something to do with the design. It has nothing to do with the machine. It has something to do with me doing something not quite right. Tuesday. Okay, I'm going to put that on my calendar. Tuesday the 6th. Thanks, Stacy. Let me go to my calendar and put that on. Okay. I love knowing birthdays. Every year. Okay. Got it. Got it, got it, got it. Happy birthday to January Crafters. Thanks, Shay Shay. Joyce Lewis on the 17th. Happy early birthday. Ooh, that's a Saturday. Now, I'm not going to ask how old people are because I know what people asking me. And I would probably draw the short stick on the age thing. Okay, it is open on Saturdays. Cool. Thank you. Hey, Donzel. Donzel, were you in here earlier? Did you have to come home from work and take a nap? Because we've been keeping you up late. Not me. Gail. Lisa. Alright. So the M is having no issues. I don't know why that B. I don't know why that B had so many issues. And I can't tell if there's a little extra thread that's the end of a thread or if there's an extra stitch. So I'll have to look at that. You just went to sleep. Okay. You mean last night when they were on you went to sleep? I think I went to sleep too. I fell asleep. Let's see. Shay, did your B70 deco limit you to the number of stitches in the design? Donzel, you are here now. Thank you. Okay, let's see. It's going to take a while, guys. I totally understand if you got to bail on me. Because we're just watching, this is like watching cement dry. Maybe the B had an issue because of the weird stitches you saw. Oh, Jennifer. I bet you're onto something. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll play around. I'll bet you. I'll bet you're onto something. Thank you for that. I'll play around with it and I'll get whatever wonky thing is doing that. get it fixed. I'll re-stitch out. Now, if I see everything looks good from the M on, I'm not going to re-stitch the whole thing. But I'll go back through the B and the E and make sure everything's cool with those before I post this. You had no phone battery last night, so I had to miss the late night. Oh, Kristen. Kristen, are you still pet sitting? I think you said till what, January? It's a few days still, I think. You woke up to Gail saying goodnight. Oh, that one's being slow too. What's going on with you? Have no idea. I'll let you get home tomorrow afternoon. Good. You'll get your own space back. Huh. So Renee, you have the same machine that Shay Shay has? Okay, so you're getting ready to leave Prague in a couple of hours. Well, hope they have a wonderful flight. You have the B70 Dippo. So what brand is that? Is that a brother? If it's a B something? And let's see. Patrice, did Eve say what you guys are sewing? I saw a cute little project, cute little sewing project. At first, that's what I was going to do tonight. And then I decided I was going to sew a pouch for my iPad because anytime Tim and I go anywhere for the weekend or any traveling I do, I always take my laptop, I always take my iPad. Well, my sister-in-law bought me a laptop, not case, well, it's a case, but it's a thick fabric with foam in it. And there really isn't a separate compartment for the iPad that would protect it well. So then I want to sew an iPad sleeve so I can put that down in with it. So first I was going to do the little project I'm talking about. Then I decided I was going to do the iPad thing. And then today I decided I was going to do this. Let's see. That cow I stitched out had over 50,000 stitches. Wow. Yeah, Renee, I'd love to see it. You made your bag with the... Yo, you were talking about that this morning. I'm going to guess you use pinks. Can you post a picture? Oh, Carol. So that's probably the one that Shay Shay's doing. And Shay Shay, this Sunday you're going to do February. Is that right? It is the same one. Cool. Yeah, because she said, I think it's February she's doing this Sunday, and she was teasing the group that was watching about some colors that would be surprising. I know you said you weren't using pink, pink, pink. You said you might have pink might make an appearance, but it's not going to be pink, pink, pink. Oh, you're making a Kindle book sleeve. So the sleeve things that I saw, they could be for books, they could be for Kindles, they could be for iPads. So unbiased, is yours going to have a zipper in it, snap, tie off, open on the end? You're making the smaller version. You've got 2 blocks of February. I have to wait till another comment comes. There we go. 2 blocks of February done. Good. A zipper. That's what I want to do. I think it'll be the most secure with a zipper. I don't want to have to snap on top of my iPad. And I didn't want to leave it open, so I'm wanting to do a zipper too. Are you just making up your own pattern? I just figured I would do we're going to go down memory lane again. Maybe. Where's my memories? Oh my goodness, here's a good one. Did I shoot out there? Okay, so I just figured I would make one like a zipper pouch, but have more padding in it, and just alter the size. Or do you have an actual pattern? No more in there. Or, like Patrice and I made these, and I could do something like this, but I wouldn't have this zipper because I don't want that zipper pushing against my iPad. But yeah, I was just thinking about making a big zipper pouch. Dimps, you saw it. You heard me say it, so you saw it. For anyone that is not familiar with Dimps Designs, which I'm sure most all of you are, but if you're not, she does a ton of crocheting. And when we did the craft hauls recently, she didn't you do that entire beanie in your 30 minutes? She was just going and talking, and it was amazing. Amazing. She's really come leaps and bounds. She's doing great things. Okay, everything's looking good. The eye, I don't want to stick my fingers there. The eye had little slow spots on the very outside. I don't think that's anything I did. I think that's just maybe the nature of this fill stitch. Yeah, she did whole beanie in 30 minutes. But there's definitely something wrong with that bee up there. So it's going to get a little overhaul. And okay, there we go. Let's say the E is kind of being weird too. But I feel like some of that is in this fill stitch. You're welcome, Dimps. Okay, Dimps, are you going live tomorrow morning? And if so, and it's like she has kids at home, and they're off from school right now, so I don't know if she'll be able to go live tomorrow morning. But typically, Dimps goes live on Friday mornings. So let us know if you think you're going to come on. Let's see. Kristen saved a reel today of a book sleeve that I think they closed with a button. Cool. I gotta see what that said. Okay, Dimps, you are coming on tomorrow. And do you know what time yet? Keisha's got to go back to work tomorrow. And Keisha's going to go live with some other ladies coming up soon. Okay, Charlene says, I like the In the Hoop device patterns by Parker on the porch. I used some foam. Oh! Parker on the porch. Now, is Parker on the porch a YouTube channel? Or is that a website? I use some foam for a Kindle Paperwhite. I definitely want to put some really good foam or something in there. Okay, thanks, Renee. If it didn't go through, some people's go through, some people, a moderator has to go and approve it, but I'll check after the live. Okay, around 11 o'clock Eastern time. Okay, so it's telling me to change the thread color. You know, we're just doing pink. So I'm going to say, okay, I changed it. And I wasn't going to change it anyway for this little outline. Now, let me look at this bee real quick. Let me see if it looks right. Because I think Jennifer was on to something. Yeah, there's extra stitches right there. And there's an extra stitch right there on the E. These letters look great. So I did something here. Something right there is wonky. Now that's thin because of the hidden stitches. But let's keep going. I need to see everything that's wrong with it. But I love that bill stitch. Okay, so Dimps is at 11 Eastern time, probably. Oh, let me let you look at it a little bit better. I'm sorry, I forgot the eye was big and it was small. Okay, it's a website and some videos. Parker on the porch. So I'm going to take a picture of this so I remember that after the live. And I will go check it out. So great. Thank you, Charlene. Happy New Year, Deborah Browning. Happy New Year. Unbiased. I think this morning, I was getting ready to leave for a service when Shay Shay was on. But I think what Dim said on the one done was that she did her one quilt block and she's done. And I don't know. I don't know about that. Because we're going to have to start a new quilt topper sometime soon. She might have to be in on it. 5, 7, so I can't color anymore. Like 18 in my eyes, because baby. Okay, 11 Eastern time. Excellent. Alright, so let me see. Do I think it's worth it to put this little border on? Oh, that's cute. I do. I like that. I like it. Hopefully my bobbin had a lot of bobbin left on it. When I was oiling it earlier, I took the bobbin out and it looked like it was pretty full. So I think we're good. A log cabin quilt top. Kristen, I think you were talking about log cabins yesterday, weren't you? When Stacy was talking about what color she should make her house or her roof, did you say something about you would do a log cabin? You tell her, Shay Shay. You tell her. Log cabin quilt top sounds pretty cute. Okay, I'm tempted to push this on. Although, no. I need to see if anything else is going to be wrong with it. Yeah, that little satin border stitch around it looks really cute. I was worried about it. I've never put a satin border on something that tiny, you know, like a fill stitch and then a satin border on something this tiny. But it looks good. Now, when I shrink this down to where it's going to be like 3.75 inches, I'm not sure I would keep it. I don't know. I'd have to try it and see. All right, let's see here. Keisha says she has no idea what she's done. She was peer pressured to grab something, and it's a nice push to get you going. Yes. You won't regret it. You won't regret it. Okay, Dance, good deal. Oh, you do have a bunch of them laying around and not sashed together, which I learned yesterday what sashing was. Thanks, Shay Shay. You guys are hanging on. You guys are still in here. That is so nice. So nice. Yeah, that B and that E has something going on. You learned that too last night? So, Dimps, the quilt blocks that you have, are they all similar to each other? I mean, do they belong together? You just haven't put them together? Thank you, Keisha. Aw, thanks. Vern says we're committed to staying until you finish. Awesome. Thank you. Okay, let's bring me back. Okay, I'm trying to figure out which. Let me turn this a little bit. There we go. There we go. Oh, you only have 2 so far. Okay, but do they go to the same quilt? For this font was Bama, or Bima, I think. Bambo? I think it was Bambo. But if you go back to like 35, 40 minutes in, you'll see when I bring it up. I think it's called Bambo, B-A-I-M-B-O. Not bingo, Bambo. If I do more, they'll just be around. Okay, so you have 2 tree ones. You could do 3 and just have a row of trees. And then we can start a new one together. says it has 17 minutes left. Thanks for Linda. You guys think you can make it 17 minutes? Oh yeah, small pillow. That would be cute. Thanks, Keisha. And that's all the colors it's going to get, because it's just a test stitch out. What? I'm biased. What are you talking about? You want to be on the quilt block too? Is that what you mean? I thought you meant you got kicked off of it. Thank you, Karen Bingbo. Thanks, Floyd Apparel. Okay. All right, Brandy. Thank you. So for those of you that work like a Monday through Friday job, if it's healthcare, you probably have to go back to work tomorrow. But do any of you that would typically work on a Friday have tomorrow off? Thanks, Donzel. My hubby. Oh, I'm biased. I'll be yours. I'm yours, honey. Poor Tim has to go back to work tomorrow. 3 tree. I think 3 would look nice, Kristen. Brandy has to go back. Boy Girl has to go back. Shay Shay has to go back. All right, let's see how it's looking. That little, I want to show this to you close so you can see what that tiny little satin stitch around the outside does. Half day, okay. And Stacy, you were still in here a little bit ago. Stacy, when do you guys go back? Patrice, do you have to go back Monday? Joyce is retired, living the good life. You have to go back. And Capricia's work from home. See? Oh. CCT, welcome. Yes, tomorrow, but you're off now. Cool. Did I say it right, CCT? Ron runs off tomorrow. Oh, good. Creative Notions are allowing you to telework tomorrow. Government holiday is now over. Yep. Let's see if I missed anybody. Fern has to go tomorrow. You have to work Saturday. So Shay Shay, with you coming on, sometimes you come on in during the week. So is that like if you work a Saturday, you get your comp day through the week? Is that how that works? I know yesterday was a holiday. CCT. Okay, awesome. Dimps, I know you do. That means you're young. You're young. You're not old like me. Brandy, 5 more years, Brandy. Are you military, Brandy? Because you are looking really, really, really young to only have 5 more years of work until you retire. I can't believe that. My mean. Yeah, when that stitch is working right, it's looking good. 2 years left, Fern. Oh, okay. So are you under the rule of 85, Brandy? That's what ours was. Yes, Heart X. I'm off Monday because I work Saturday. Are you off every Monday? And you work every Saturday? I can have whatever comp day I want when I work my Saturday. Okay, so is that like once a month, or how often do you do that? I'm just missing you because you are on the day hours, but I will try and catch you. Apparently only 2 more years. My kids said I am not working past 60. Charlene recommends it. You volunteer for extra weekend because my kids have appointments through the week to save my leave. I gotcha. Okay. So you could take the day off and take your kids, but you want to save your vacation or paid time off or whatever it's called there. So then you work on the Saturday to make up for that so that you can take your vacation leave. Gotcha. Down to 11 minutes. And really, I would forward it, but I don't want to put a design out there until I've seen every stitch of it and until I fix that BE. For January, I work 2 weekends. I normally only work 1 weekend a month. I do get extra pay for working Saturdays. Well, that's good, like a time and a half or something like that. My daughter, when she works holidays, it is crazy how much it gets bumped up. Okay, where's my chapstick? Not a glue stick. I need chapstick. There it is. Yeah, dimps. Oh, okay. So the rule of 85, 30, that still means that you're like going to be 52 when you retire. You don't look anywhere close to that. Reapply. I might even have some of that in here. I used to. So the rule of 85 is in Kansas for government employees that are under the rule of 85. It is your age plus your years of service. Once that reaches the number 85, you can retire fully. And they don't actually have the 80% thing like you were talking about. So if somebody retired or just quit before they hit the rule of 85, they have to wait every year for their birthday to come around so that they eventually might reach 85 points. So I hit my 85 last May or in December, and then I worked through January just to get the semester off with the new counselor. Keisha, I would put glue on my lips. I was being silly. Okay, the end is getting close. Shay can early retire in 4 years, 11 months, but I have to wait until my age to get paid out. I see. Okay. So you'd be vested in it, and then you just have to wait till you get to a certain age. So that's how I am with the company I worked for in Wichita before I went to become a counselor. You're looking good. Is I had enough years to be vested, and then when I hit 65, I will be pulling in retirement from that. Stretch's school got me, but unfortunately I get a fresh start in, oh good, you get your fresh start of hours now in 2026. So Keisha talking about getting those hours mapped out. We had a custodian at the school where I worked, and he literally, well, and my sister-in-law, so he would tell you every day, this many days, this many days, this many days. I'm not going to put my fabric down unbiased. I don't think I could, but that's just gonna extend the hurt. He would tell us every day how many days he had left. And then my sister-in-law, she had an app on her phone that would tell her every day how many days were left. You don't need a certain age. Let me go check it out again. Uh-huh. I hear that, Keisha. It's looking pretty cute. It is not perfect, but it's really, really nice. Heard the famous words, I got all night. Jess sounds like Jessie. Ah. Okay. So now the next stitch should be the placement stitch for the heart. I'm going to stop that because I am thread insecure, as Shay Shay likes to say. I don't like that messy extra thread on my thing. Thanks, Renee. Let's see, what did Cheryl say? Okay, so that was the placement stitch. Next, I would put fabric down that has Stitch and Bond, Heat and Bond light on the back. And then this next stitch, we would be stitching that down. You know what? I should put some on there. I should put some on there, but it's just going to be black. No, it's not. Marilyn, you're a mess. You're a mess. Hold on. Okay, we're just going to put a purple floral piece of fabric on there. It's not going to be pretty. It's just going to help people see what this looks like. And I'm not going to put Heat and Bond on the back because it's just not that big of a deal right now. So let's lift that presser foot. Cover up that heart. Put the presser foot back down. And then I will cut around this very, very, very quickly because we've been on here 2.5 hours. Hey, Doris, welcome. Okay, so let's go ahead and take that off. Lift the presser foot all the way up. I like to cut my fabric while it is sitting on the table. I do not like to pull it up in the air. I like to have it while it's sitting on the table so that you're not stretching out your fabric and all that good stuff. So we're just going to cut really quickly around this. And because I'm doing it just really quickly, it could poke out from underneath the next satin stitch. And that's okay. And remember, actually the next stitch isn't the satin stitch. The next stitch is what? What's that next stitch? Anybody remember? This brick stitch is cute. Okay, just that fast. There you go, Unbiased. Got purple for you. Oops, gotta put the foot down. All right, did anybody remember the stippling? Yes, the stipple stitch. Keisha says, I'm just trying to throw stuff out there. I really don't know. You're really oh my goodness, Shay Shay. Wow. Girl, that would put me under. So let me tell people what you're talking about. Oh, you've been using the pumpkin one? And around the pink and black with purple. So, I did see Quilt Wind. Welcome. Hey there. Okay, so yes, here's what Shay's talking about. So Nancy, okay, the stipple stitch is already over. Let me show you real quick. It's hard to see because it's pink on purple. Can you guys see it? Again, we're not going for great colors here. We're just going for getting a test stitch out done. Okay, let's keep going. Now it's going to be the satin border stitch. Okay. So what Shay's talking about is Nancy of Gifted Crafter H2 something. Nancy goes live at 7 o'clock every morning, Monday through Friday. And then Power Tools with Threads goes live every Monday through Friday at 8 o'clock. And what Shay's saying is she's considering doing a 6 o'clock live every morning. Shay, Gifts HQ. Thank you. Gifts HQ. I'm not up early enough to see her, so I haven't learned her name very well yet. Cool, Lynch, what are you picking fabrics for? That must be what she's doing. The devil is a liar. Here's the deal, is Shay is a morning person. If you see her on Sunday mornings, she's on there at 8 and she is in a good mood and she's doing well. It's like, I'm gonna have to pry my eyes open to do a 6 a.m. live. I'd have to stay up all night and then Shay, you wouldn't be able to go to work. That's looking good. So anybody that's come in here in the last 10, 15, 20 minutes, I am just doing a stitch out of a file that we made tonight. I'm not worried about the colors. I'm not worried about the fabric color. I just want to make sure that it stitches out well. And we found that it did have an issue with the B, and I see a little bitty issue with the E. Evelyn, now people lie about when I get up. I don't get up as late as what they say. Hey Marissa, welcome. Happy New Year to you. Okay, he says when I catch you on Sundays, I have to be in bed with my phone. I can't get up to get on the computer. Why be up? I'm usually up around 5:30. Oh my goodness, Mylene. The fill stitch you're using, it is no, it's not a Poulin fill stitch. The fill stitch I'm using is brick, and it's an Embrilliance fill stitch. And I also showed some other fill stitches early in the live, so if you go way back to I talked for 30 minutes. So at least go 30 minutes into the live, and you'll see I went through several fill stitches so you can see the differences in them. It just doesn't seem that big. I'm happy with it, but I have a hard time making small. Oh, I know Patrice came out. I knew Patrice was going to come out here because she's the one that says I sleep till 5 in the afternoon. That's what she said the other day. I sleep till 5 in the afternoon. She's scared to text me before noon. Patrice. You can text me, just don't call me. No, when I retired and they were like, now can we get a hold of you if we have issues, this, that, the other, I was like, you may, but not before 10 a.m. Okay, I think the last thing that we have is just the outer stitch. So I would put I would put 2 pieces of fabric on. So I would, and I'm going to show you here in just a minute so I don't have to waste fabric. I would fold over and cut 2 pieces of fabric that I would put on there for the envelope back. Let me get this started and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Or I'll show you when it's done because it's going to go really quickly. Remember, the envelope back has the curves around the corners. Renee's almost done. I should figure out how to put mine on Don't Disturb, Joyce. Keisha, it is. I truly just grabbed some fabric so that I could put it on there so I could see what it was going to look like. I don't care about the colors or the fabric or anything on this one. Also remember this last stitch, I narrowed up the stitch length a little bit, shortened the stitch length just a little bit, and then I had it go around twice. And quilt winch, now I know what stitch in the ditch means because you taught me. Oh, you love that color. Awesome. We're done. We're done, we're done, we're done. Okay. So let me look. I can barely see my fabric sticking out. Remember I said you're probably going to see a little bit sticking out because I didn't take much time. There are some weird stitches in that bee. And when I was making this in Embrilliance and I clicked on fill again, you remember they went away, but they're really there. So I'm going to have to figure out what's going on with that. And then cut away a little bit of excess here. Yeah, that B and that E, they have some issues. Okay, so let me cover this so you don't get sick. Don't want you to get dizzy. Now, is it upside down? Yep. Cover it again. Turn it around. And then let me make that big. And then I'm going to show you what the envelope back closure looks like. I know I got them out. I had them right here on the table. There they are. Okay, so here is a mug rug. It's a little one. It's a 4x4 friendly. And this is what the envelope back looks like, the envelope closure. And so when it's on the hoop, you put your 2 pieces of fabric here. I always make sure there's at least an inch of overhang, maybe not on this small of one. And so when you're done with it, and you take it off your hoop and you trim it down and you use pinking shears and all that good stuff, here's what it looks like. So here's my doubled over fabric up against the top of my mug rug. So then after you trim it, pink it, and all that good stuff, it flips this way, and there's no more stitching, no heat and bond, no, you don't have to close it up. It's done. Now some people, I have seen some people put a strip of like a heat and bond under there and press it down like that. I don't. I just leave it like that. So that's what the envelope back does for you. Okay, so let's look at the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good, the bad, and the ugly. So let me find a pointer because, you know, I don't do my nails. Okay, I can see some threads of the lilac fabric peeking out. My satin border stitch down here looks pretty good. I see a few of the underlay stitches right there. And in the pattern or in the design, they weren't that way. So depending upon what you're using, you might do a push or pull compensation. I don't understand all that. I'm just going to be real honest. I don't totally understand all that. But all in all, it looks good. I mean, the word mine looks good. And the lighting is terrible, but it looks good. This B and the C, they do not look good. You see the extra There's some extra stitches up here. There's extra stuff down here. There's an extra piece right there. And I don't know why. So I'm going to have to figure that out before I put this in a member's post. But, you know, we threw it together and we stitched it out. And it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. Just have to figure that out. Push equal more, pull equal less. But unbiased, here's the thing. You do it like you don't build that into your design, do you? Don't you do that based on how your stitch out goes? You add your push or pull compensation after you see how it stitches out and you see that it needs something? Or do you build it into your design? Because I honestly don't know. And I want to know. Thank you, guys. I like that stitch pattern too. It's really cute. And you saw earlier you could stretch the stitches or make them smaller so that it has a little bit of a different look depending on what you want it to look like. Oh, thanks, Joyce. Let's see. You can do it while designing. That's how I do mine. Okay. I need a class. I need a lesson on that. I really, really, really need a lesson on that. And to understand what it means and all that good stuff. So, Unbiased, can I purchase a lesson from you? Oh, Karen, that's so sweet of you to say. She says, I love it. Even with the imperfections, it looks so cute. Oh, you know what, Dims? I don't have a stippling stitch like that, but I could make one. Yeah, I could make one where I did that. That would be super cute. That would be really cute. What was the name? Bamba. Bamba. B-A-I-M-B-A, I believe. And I probably got that off of Creative Fabrica. There's a way to fix in Stitch Artist. Watch Stitching with Shantae. Okay. Yeah, I love her. Cuteness Overload. That's sweet. Bambo. Thank you, Karen. All right. So I need Unbiased to give me a lesson. And I need to watch Shantae's video. Okay, wait. Sean says, here is the explanation. So she probably tried to cut and paste something or copy and paste something, and it was probably too long. Maybe. Is that why you got cut off, Sean? Let's see. Let's see if Sean says something. She might be typing now. So we'll give her a minute and then we're done. Stephanie, thank you. Thank you for being here. For everybody. And if you're in the chat, if you're not in the chat, if you're hanging out, if you're just letting it play to give me some watch time, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Okay, that means pull equals stitches get shorter and skinnier than the design. Okay. On the screen. Push, they get larger, stretch out. Okay, so I would need to do pull compensation. Call you after 10 a.m. So I would need to do pull compensation. And Sean, do you do pull compensation in your designs, or do you do them after you do a practice or a test stitch out and see where they need it? I would love to hear that. Thank you, Jess. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks, Anna. Thank you, everyone. Sean, I really appreciate that. So I need pull, because push is going to flatten it out and it's going to spread out, if that's the way I'm understanding it correctly. That makes sense. But I'm pretty happy with how it looks so far. Well, maybe, I don't know about the overlap. Somebody told me not to overlap it. Now that I see it, I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have overlapped it. It might have been cuter without it. I think it might be better without it. So who said not to do that? You were right. You were right. All right, guys. While working in the design. Thank you, Deborah. But how do you know? How do you know when you're in the design that it's going to do that? Oh, Patricia, you were right. You were right. Okay, so Deborah and Sean and Unbiased, if you're doing it while you're working in the design, how do you know where to add that push or pull compensation? You can see it while designing. So when I go to the density map and then that second screen that you can get there, is that where you would see it? Or if you take off the 3D effect, is that where you'd see it? What screen do you see it in the design? Donzel, Jesse was here earlier. So what screen in Embrilliance would I look at to see it? Okay, Sean says, push-pull compensation is what we do to design to fix the stretching and shrinking. We add a little extra in the piece. You will see it on the main screen while working. Really? Thanks, Robin. So I don't know if anybody else is interested in it, but I want to pull it back up and look at it because, Marilyn, you told other people to not do that, and then you did that. Okay, so let me see where it's doing it. It's doing it on this eye. Okay. So I think I see what you're talking about, Rachel. I think I see what you're talking about. I'm not sure. Let me share this real quick. This is a tutorial for Marilyn. Doing training on this and shows you how to fix it. Oh, so is that a class that she's teaching? Like I would pay to take this class? Is that what that is? Because I would do that. Hey, Shannon, welcome. Select the object, shape, set and column, fill, etc. Look to the right side for the properties panel. Okay. This is going to be above my head just to read it. Ms. Sean needs to do a Zoom class. I will behave, I promise. Click the tab for the stitch type. Okay. And create. Okay. I'm not good at typing this out. I can speak and explain it. You all know I'm country. She's doing a series on YouTube. Excellent. Okay, Deborah, I will definitely check that out because I just need to see it. I need to see it. I'm a very visual learner. So that's great. And I've seen, yes, Karen, I've seen some of Shantae's videos. I need to go back and watch one where she did the columns, where she was going back and forth and making it turn a certain direction. I need to watch things like that instead of just pecking and doing it on my own. I need to actually watch somebody that knows what they're doing, how to do it. So I appreciate that. Yeah. All right, you guys, I am so happy that you've been here with me tonight. I appreciate it. I feel so blessed to be part of all this bigger crafting community that we all are participants in. So her channel is Stitching Hearts by Shantae. Is that right? Rachel, go ahead and put it in the chat if you want to. And we met her at Applique Getaway, and she's super sweet. And you can hear it in her voice and in her demeanor on her videos. She's a warm person. You're welcome. Thanks, Mylene. Thanks, Debs. So I'm going to wait for Rachel if she can drop Shantae's channel. And that way everybody can do that. Also, remember, if you want to purchase anything, I don't remember when the sale ends, the Embrilliance sale. If you want to purchase anything, remember they're having a sale right now. And Dee told us that Becky of Power Tools with Threads is an affiliate. So you could check her out. Hey, Addie, thank you. Okay, there we go. Stitching Hearts with Shantae, not by Shantae. So if you want to subscribe to her channel, go ahead and click on that and then subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell and select all notifications. Hey, Carol, we are getting ready to leave right now. It's bedtime. All right, Dee. Bye-bye. Thanks for being here. And for everyone else that's here, thank you so much. You're subscribed already. Good for. I know Patrice and Eve and maybe me are on sewing tomorrow night. It depends on what they're sewing. Because if they're sewing an entire hoodie, I might come on and just be the moderator. Just talk. We'll see. And then, not unbiased. Unbiased was on Tuesday. Demps will be on tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock Eastern time. Don't forget that. Of course, Eve, Sunday night. Then we kind of start the week over. Now, did I forget anybody between now and Sunday? I know Sean will be on Sunday. She comes on before Eve. And of course, Shay Shay. I see that, Patrice. Shay Shay will be on Sunday at 0800 Central Time. It'll be a quick one. Yeah, if you do crocheting, it'll be quick. Shanika. Shante is a great teacher. Lovely live, Marilyn. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, y'all. Kept in the playlist. Thank you, Dee. I will see you probably tomorrow night when we sew. You guys have a great rest of your day. Have a good tomorrow. Hope you have a great weekend. And if nothing else, I'll see you back next Thursday. All right.